Welcome back, my friends, to BjjBrick Quick. My name is Byron. We're talking about jiu-jitsu in a quick fashion on this podcast. All week we've been talking about the Wright Brothers, and we're going to let that stop on this last episode. Don't worry. If you're new to the show, we pull it back onto the mats. We'll fly it right over there and come in hopefully for a cool, smooth landing and relate it back to jiu-jitsu. I just recently read this book by David McCullough called, creatively enough, The Wright Brothers. If you're interested in that sort of thing, or these have been good episodes, check it out, my friends. Go to your local library, or get it in an audiobook. Or, best of both worlds, is get your audiobook from your library on your phone. Most libraries have that now, and it's free. Anyway, my friends. Let's take the good mood and turn it down a notch. Okay, the Wright brothers were the first people to fly in a heavier than air aircraft, so not a balloon. And they did not die doing this. Many people died trying this, and even one of the people who flew with them died in a crash. So one of them was involved in a deadly crash, but they both lived and did not die in an airplane crash. Now, Wilbur, who I talked about having been bullied and getting his teeth broken and that sort of thing, he died a lot younger. Don't worry, I'm bringing this back to jiu-jitsu. I'm not going to talk about death the whole time. Wilbur died at age 45 from probably like typhoid fever. Unsure really what happened there. And then like over 40 years later, his brother died. Let's see, he died at 76 years old. 35 years after his brother, I guess. Okay. Yeah. They did not die flying. Okay, let's crash this thing onto the mats here. And something that I think is super important. You don't need to wreck your body doing jiu-jitsu. People do this. A lot of people do. This is one of the biggest problems, I think, with jiu-jitsu, is people, they accept the fact that it's going to cost them a healthy body. And sure, maybe they get in better shape or whatever, but, at the end of the game, my hands are going to be wrecked. Oh, my knees are going to be terrible. Or, I let too many ankle locks, like, whatever it is. My shoulders are bad now. Whatever, like, jiu-jitsu does not need to wreck your body. Be like the Wright brothers. You get one body, and we're going to hopefully grow old someday, my friends. And you don't want to be in a wrecked body from jiu-jitsu that you abused in your younger days. No, you want to know jiu-jitsu. You want to still be doing jiu-jitsu in a healthy body. Good joints and good, good mobility in your body. Relatively pain-free. You've got to train in a way that you are not destroying your body. And there's, I guess, a couple of categories of this. The easiest example is the people who purposely and knowingly destroy their hands. Okay, we're grappling, cool. You're wearing a gi. I'm gonna grab it sometimes. I'm gonna sometimes grab your pant leg, sure, and you're gonna sometimes kick out of that pant leg grip. How much pressure does that put on my fingers? A insane amount of pressure on my fingers. So before you kick out, I let go. I'm not gonna do that to my hand. I got a different grip to get anyway. Moving on. So if you're the one that is every day you go home and your fingers are sore and tired and they're swollen and you're taping them every day when you roll, and it's just that's going to come back and bite you. You're wrecking your hands. How important are your hands? The other kind of a category, I guess, would be accidents or injuries. These happen. They do happen. This is a contact sport. I guess the safest. One time I read a book on the concussions, and he's like, the safest thing to do is play ping pong or table tennis or whatever it's called. And like, okay, that's not fun compared to this. So I do accept some risk of getting accidentally injured. Now, my training partners respect that. But they respect me and I respect them. Like, I don't want to do anything that hurts anybody. And so if I know somebody has a sore neck or a bad shoulder or a bum knee or whatever, I factor that into my rolling. And if your neck is you've got problems, I'm not even going to choke you. If it's your knee, maybe I don't sweep you. Maybe I'm not going to take that leg, obviously. I don't know. Like, you adjust to be a good training partner, a good teammate. And if somebody doesn't do that, you talk to them about it. It's like, hey, man, okay. And you don't give a laundry list of problems that they can't do and they can basically do nothing to you. Like, that's not ideal either. But you communicate how safe training is important to you. Coaches, you communicate this to your whole gym. You want injury-free rolling sessions for everybody. You want to have a room full of 50 people grappling and a room full of 50 people that walk out healthy every time. Now, that's a great goal. And maybe it doesn't happen every time. But if that's your goal, less people are going to get injured. And the injuries will be less severe. Just want you to think about that. I have found that the best way to reduce my injuries is to take ownership of them. So if I look at somebody and I know this person is reckless and they care less about me and they wouldn't mind hurting me or launching me onto my head from across the room or whatever, I'm not going to roll with that person. They need to earn my trust back. I'm a black belt, and I could tell somebody, no thanks, man. Not today. A conversation has to be had to have safe rolling with some people. Now, hopefully, people that are new come in and they learn this. They see this happening. They get stuck in a submission, and the person pauses. Are you okay? Okay, your arm is stuck here, man. I'm not gonna go anymore. You know what? You obviously don't even know what this arm bar is. Let me show you this arm bar, because it's gonna get dangerous quick in here with some of these people, that are also fairly new. You need to know these things. Anyway, it's about building that culture in your gym. Safety is a big part of the culture. Wilbur and Orville Wright did not die in a plane crash. That's amazing. They did take some risks. They changed the world. But they did it safely. At least as safe as they could. If it were all to happen again, maybe one of them would die in a plane crash. But they tried to minimize and mitigate those risks. Hope you've enjoyed this podcast. If you want to support it, go to Patreon and become a monthly supporter there. Really appreciate you guys. Trying to get to $100 a month. If we do that, I'll be cranking out an episode every day of the week. Not skipping weekends. See where we're at on the goal there. Just link by Patreon and see if we're getting close. You could be the deciding person. I don't think we're close yet, but you could be definitely helpful. Anyway, I want you to have a great day, my friend, and stay sweaty.